my last gig was in New Zealand. I just flew back from there about a week ago. And I don't mind the flying thing. I quite like it, especially Air New Zealand. I checked in. I dropped my luggage in front of the check-in lady. She said, "You're overweight." I said, "You dye your hair." Air New Zealand, if you haven't flown Air New Zealand, it's worth 27 hours of flying to get yourselves to Auckland just to watch Air New Zealand's safety demonstration alone. They're the most entertaining I've ever seen. When I first went to New Zealand, it was a year of the World Cup, a few years back, and everybody involved in the safety demonstration was a famous rugby player. A couple of years ago, I went down again. It was characters from The Hobbit. Can anybody back me up on this? Have you seen them? They're absolutely brilliant. Last year, when I went down to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Sports Illustrated magazine, Bikini Edition, Air New Zealand hired 50 of the most beautiful women in the world to show you what to do in the case of an emergency. I have never been more prepared on a plane. I didn't even know aeroplanes had oxygen masks. I took my dad on a cruise a couple of years ago, took my dad on a cruise as a gift for Mother's Day. I'm struggling to work out how long to give you between jokes right now, I'll be honest. I called him up a few weeks ago, I rang my dad, I said, "How are you doing, Dad?" He said, "I'm about ready for the scrap heap." I couldn't believe it. I immediately hung up the phone, drove down to Eastbourne to pick him up. My mum and dad live in Eastbourne now. They moved there a couple of years ago. They didn't want to, but they're 65 and it's the law. Don't laugh. I used to say Bournemouth, but it seemed too close tonight. I said to my dad, "What's your favourite thing about Eastbourne?" He said, "I like the high street." I said, "Why?" He said, "I'm the quickest thing in it." So I ring him up. I said, "How you doing, Dad?" He said, "I'm about ready for the scrap heap." Couldn't believe it. Hung up the phone. Drove down to Eastbourne, picked him up, spoiled him rotten for the day. Took him up to London on the train. My dad is also in the business, got some of his showbiz friends out. Had a couple of cocktails. Lovely lunch. Dad and I saw the late afternoon movie. Back on the train, down to Eastbourne. Into the car, dropped off at his house. He's walking up the path. It's getting dark now. I said, "How do you feel now, Dad? Still getting ready for that scrap heap?" He said, "No, I'll have to go tomorrow now. It's shut." It'd be great if once you could get this at the same time. I remember the advice my dad gave me before I got married. He pulled me to one side. He said, "Son, remember this day. Cherish this day. One day you're going to look back upon this day as the happiest day of your life." I said, "Dad, the wedding's not until tomorrow." He said, "Son, listen." You get a lot of questions when you're a comedian. I'm a comedian, by the way. I thought that pointed out because it's not obvious. You could have just flashed me. I didn't need a most subtle hint. Hello. I don't even sing. We don't need you people. Have another break. Come on.